Hello everyone! We're going to talk about how to identify key signatures, and I have a couple of hacks. So we're going to use the circle of fifths, and I'm going to show you two ways of identifying the name of a key signature without looking at the circle of fifths. So here's our assignment. You'll click here for the quiz. Look like this, but make sure you have a couple things pulled up. An image of the circle of fifths, either on the computer or preferably one that you've drawn out so that you can look at that analog, meaning on paper. And also have this little reduced cheat sheet of intervals out, because most importantly we will need to know how to identify a minor third below by counting 3 half steps. So we'll start our challenge. We are looking at the grand staff every time. That means that we're looking at the treble clef and the bass clef. Some of you know how to read both. Some of you only know treble or bass, depending on your instrument. And we are going to be identifying major key signatures and minor key signatures. So this, for example, we need to identify the minor key signature for a key signature that has 4 sharps. So we will look at our circle of fifths. We'll find on the right side our sharps, 4 sharps, key of E. On the outside we have the majors, on the inside we have the minors. So very simply it tells us on the inside circle this is the key signature of C sharp minor. So very easy, you'll select C sharp minor. Boom. We need to find the major. Count the flats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 flats. What key signature has 5 flats? That's the key of D flat major. B flat minor, but we need D flat major here. This is really quite simple. So D flat major. What about the minor version? So find 5 flats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those flats are B, E, A, D, and G flat. 5 flats, minor, B flat minor. So on the inside, B flat. Notice all the inside letters are lowercase. Lowercase is how we identify minor. So B flat minor. Boom. Okay, no sharps or flats. That's either the key of C major or A minor. We need A minor. How do we know? Okay, so check on our circle. The key of C major has no sharps and no flats. And inside circle, A minor. So now let me tell you about the way to identify the name of a sharp key signature and identify the name of a flat key signature if you don't have the circle of fifths. 2 different systems, one for sharps, one for flats. Let's look at this key signature. Well, we know by looking at the circle of fifths that this is the key of E major. But what if you don't have the circle in front of you? The way you do this with sharps is you look at the rightmost sharp, the last sharp, so F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. The last sharp, D sharp, if you go up a half step from there, let's look at our keyboard. D sharp is right here. Go up a half step, and that is E. That's your answer right there. So the rightmost sharp is a half step below the key signature. Okay, so for example, boom, that is E major. The last sharp, the rightmost sharp is D sharp. Go up a half step from D sharp, and that is E. Okay, let's see what the next one gives us. So that is E. Oh, but this is minor, okay? So you just identified that this is E major, but we need to find the minor. Now, what if you don't have a key what if you don't have the circle of fifths in front of you? That's where counting 3 half steps down is going to be helpful, because notice the relationship, the relative minor to the major, is always 3 half steps below the major. In other words, it's a minor third below. So we identified that this is the key of E major. Well, what is 3 half steps below E? So we need to go down 1, 2, 3 half steps. It tells us it's either D flat or C sharp. Now E is a sharp key signature, so we need to identify that this is C sharp. We'll call this C sharp minor, not D flat minor. Okay, so we identified the minor without using the circle of fifths. We'll do this a few more times. This is C sharp minor. Okay, good. We have another example. Ooh, how many sharps is this? Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sharps. But pretend you don't have the circle of fifths. You need to identify the key signature. What is the rightmost sharp? The rightmost sharp is E sharp. In treble clef, it's space 4. Bass clef, it's space 3. E sharp. What's a half step above E sharp? This is tricky. Look, this is E. What's E sharp? Well, E sharp is actually F. Go up another half step. Boom, F sharp. Okay, you have to go a half step above the rightmost sharp. Remember that. Say that 3 times. A half step above the rightmost sharp. So the sharp all the way to the right, and then go up a half step. So the sharp here all the way to the right is E sharp. What's a half step above E sharp? Well, it's actually F sharp. So here's E sharp, it's F. Okay, this is an enharmonic. There's no black key in between. And then what's a half step above E sharp? That is F sharp. So this is the key of F sharp major. That's the key of F sharp major, okay? But they are asking for the minor. So now what do we have to do? If this is F sharp major, the key signature, we have to go down 3 half steps. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. So actually, this is the key of D sharp minor. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. There's so many sharps. This is the key of D sharp minor. Let me walk you through that one more time. I'll walk you through that one more time. Watch this. To identify a sharp major key signature, take the rightmost sharp and go up a half step. This is E sharp, which is actually F. So a half step above F is F sharp. Or a half step above E sharp is F sharp. That's the name of our major key signature. But now we need to go down 3 half steps to find the relative minor. So F sharp, 1, 2, 3. D sharp minor is the answer. Okay, we have another example. 3 sharps this time. We also need to find the minor. So first, step 1, find the major key, and then go down 3 half steps to find the relative minor. Once again, the rightmost sharp. This is G sharp. We have F, C, G. And remember how we had to memorize the order of sharps, F, C, G, D, A, E, B. They will always show up from left to right in that order. And we have to memorize the order of flats, B, E, A, D, G, C, F. Bead, G, C, F. B, E, A, D, G, C, F. So we have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. What's a half step above G sharp? Here's G sharp. Half step above is A. This is the key of A major. But what's the relative minor? 3 half steps down from A. 1, a 2, a 3. The relative minor of A major is F sharp minor. F sharp minor is our answer. Let's just confirm that. We found 3 sharps, key of A, relative minor, F sharp. F sharp minor. Now we have flats and major. I'm going to skip this one because this is the only exception to the flat finding rule. Just memorize 1 flat, key of F major. That should be one that you just lock into your rote memorization. 1 flat, the key of F. This one does not work with the trick that I'm going to show you. Let's find another flats. Great. Okay, so 4 flats. Here's the trick for learning flats. If you don't have your circle of fifths with you, you just need to look at the penultimate flat. A penultimate is a $20 word, a fancy word for second to last. So if you look at your flats from left to right, B, E, A, D, G, C, F, if it kept going. So B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. What's the second to last flat? It's A flat. It's that simple. This is the key of A flat major. To find the major key signature of flats, you go to the second to last flat. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. Second to last is A flat. That's the key of A flat major. It's that simple. A flat major. Okay, so for example now, 3 flats. What is the key signature for the 3 flats? Well, what's the second to last flat? We have B flat, E flat, A flat. Second to last is E flat. E flat major is our answer. Flats are easy to find. C major with the relative A minor. Great. Now let's find the, if we don't have our circle of fifths in front of us, now we know how to identify flats. It's the second to last flat. We need to find the major first and then the relative minor. So B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. Second to last is A flat. This is the key of A flat major. Now let's find the relative minor. So here's A flat right here. Go down 3 half steps to find the relative minor. 1, 2, 3, you got to go down a minor third. So A flat major is relative to F minor. And there's your answer, F minor. So I hope that helps you identify key signatures, both the major and the minor. using the circle of fifths, but also doing our little trick for sharp signs. Take the last sharp, the rightmost sharp sign, and go up a half step. That's the name of your major. For flats, you find the penultimate flat, the second to last flat on the right. That's the name of the major for the flat. And then to find the relative minor, you just go down a minor third. Message me if you have any questions.